Good morning. We got a sick little guy that didn't want to eat his eggs, but he wants to eat pancakes. And so I thought, why not show you the pancake recipe that we do in this house that the kids eat, nonstop. They love it. It's a fluffy buttermilk pancake. You don't need to go out and get buttermilk. It's nothing special. You can do this all with probably ingredients you have already at home. So here's a few things that you might need. Obviously you're going to need a mixing bowl. I have a little mini whisk. You can use a bigger whisk. You're going to need flour. I chose whole wheat flour. I mean, you could do regular flour. You can do oat flour. You can throw some almond meal. There's a lot of variations you can put in there, depending on how you want to do it. Whether you want to just take what you have or you want to buy something special. You're going to need some salt. You're going to need some baking powder, and you're going to need some baking soda. So you're going to need both of those in this recipe. In the waffle recipe, you don't need both. I use some vanilla extract. You'll need a beaten egg, so I have one of those here. You'll need 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to write all this down in the comments, so don't worry about that. And then you're going to need 3/4 cup of milk and a couple tablespoons of vinegar. Now notice I did the step first because you're supposed to let this sit for like 5 to 10 minutes. This is my buttermilk. That's all buttermilk really is just milk and vinegar. I mean, yes, it doesn't have the color of buttermilk, but that color is added to the stuff that you buy in the store. So that's all it takes. For every cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of vinegar will give you buttermilk. So this has been sitting for a few minutes. A little bit. Is it weak? Okay. No. So let's get this going. Alright, so 1 cup of flour. The other thing I didn't mention is you do need some sugar, 2 tablespoons of sugar. So right now I'm just going to combine all my dry ingredients. I need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. It's tough. You don't want to go overboard on this stuff or the baking soda because it will show in the taste. That's 1 teaspoon of that. I need a 1/2 teaspoon of both salt and the baking soda. Now, the other thing that I like to add, because you're only getting like 3 grams of protein per pancake, so I'll add a scoop of Shakeology, so that'll give me more protein and all those 70 superfoods that come in it. 3 servings of vegetables are in 1 scoop. It's pretty extensive. The other thing I like to do is I put in some more protein powder. So by adding these 2 scoops, instead of making, say, 8 pancakes, I'll probably make about 9. Okay, and instead of each pancake having about 3 grams of protein, they'll each have about 7 and change. So I more than double the protein. So it's not just a carb cake with a little bit of protein. It's much more of a balance between protein and carbs. I like to mix these up. Mix my dry ingredients up here so that when I'm blending them, it blends easy. You could do this in a stand mixer too, but I feel like because it's such a small amount that it's easy to just mix by hand. So once those are mixed up, so I get my 1 beaten egg, I'm going to add to it my milk. I'm going to add we'll go with a teaspoon of vanilla extract. If you want a little bit more vanilla extract, you can probably go 2. So I'll just do that. The other things I like to add, this is just to add a little more zip. I have a couple other extracts here. One's lemon, one's raspberry. Just to kind of give it a little bit of a different flavor. So I'm going to do a small amount. The lemon is really powerful, so I'm only going to do 1/4 teaspoon of the lemon. You don't need much of that. A little bit too much there. And then on the raspberry, I'm going to do 1/2. It's not quite as powerful. Maybe a little more. No, I see it. Half the time I don't measure the extracts, I just eyeball them. So this is the first time you're witnessing me measure these. Alright, what else do I need? I'm going to mix that up. I didn't put the butter in here because I melted the butter, so that it mixes well, and by putting it in this, it's all cold. I just wait till the end. I feel it mixes better. So I've mixed this up. I'm going to add this into my dry. I'm going to mix this up pretty quickly, and then I'll add my butter, and that will be it. As I do this, the consistency is going to tell me whether or not I need to maybe put a little more milk. The original recipe for the pancakes only calls for 3/4 of a cup of milk, but since I'm adding the Shakeology, I'm adding the protein powder, all that, it's just more dry ingredients, so I need to balance that out with some more wet ingredients. So I used a cup of milk as opposed to 3/4 a cup. I might even need another additional cup, half cup to a 1/4 cup, depending on the consistency. If you go too thin, the pancakes won't rise that much. They'll be, they'll be kind of flat, which is fine. If you like flat pancakes, go for it. Or if you want to kind of thin it out so that you can get more pancakes out of the batch because you're feeding more people, that's fine too. If you go too light on the milk, you're going to get these inch thick cakes. So there's that too. So right now, the consistency is a little too thick. So all I'm going to do is add just a little bit more milk in. Maybe just a 1/4 cup. Mix it gently, because if you go too hard, it's going to fall out of the bowl. Like that. Just showing you what not to do, that's all. And so this is just a little bit better. I could probably even thin it out a touch more. But that's it. That's the pancake recipe that we use here. Without fail, the other thing we do is the waffles. I put that up there. So you can look for that on my YouTube channel as well. Try it. Let me see what you think. If you don't do the lemon raspberry, sometimes I do the cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves mixture to add a little flavor that way. But I hope you like it. Hope your kids like it. Let me know what you think.